let's get to some audience-based questions here. Now, I have to first say that if I don't read your card right, it's because I couldn't read your writing. So I'll do the best I can. I am a professional narrator, so I should be able to do this. What do you believe is the biggest challenge facing the county, and what is one strategy you have to address it? Let's start in the middle and work this way. Go ahead, Dan.
I think the biggest challenge we have right now is figuring out how we can have a budget, maintain that budget without increasing taxes. We've got to get a little bit intuitive and a little innovative and come up with a system where the county can become somewhat self-sustaining, not only relying on going out and asking the taxpayers for more dollars. Things are expensive today, I don't need to tell you that. But as costs go up, taxes goes up, and we've got to come up with a solution to how to make things more sustainable. My solution is, let's get back to the pay for what you use mentality, instead of letting Joe pay for it, or the next door neighbor on the other side. We have got to get back to the mentality of pay for what we use. Right now, 90% of our population pays for everything in the county, but only 10% of that population uses those services. That is my crutch right now, if you will. Thank you.
Great. Let's go over here to Dave.
Well, Pat, I'm going to have to disagree with you on that because the current county board has raised the user fees. The building permits have been raised almost 40%, and you cannot make any money on user fees. You can only charge what your cost for those fees are. Now, Mark mentioned that there hadn't been a Democrat elected here since, I think it was 92. I disagree with that. You've got everybody running as Republicans, and that is not true, because there's been some commissioners that have been elected in the past, and they have defunded the public safety in our county. It's been torn apart. Right now, there are 58 openings in the sheriff's department. How do you get to that point? You take the money away from them. The dispatch center, the emergency dispatchers, are at 43% of their staff. This has got to change, and we have to correctly fund the public safety in the county. Thank you.
Public safety is a huge issue. There's a lot of people in here that probably know Ben Wolfinger. He was a piece of work to be a commissioner. Sorry, but the county budgets are tough to do, and the learning curve on doing them is straight up in the air. It's straight up, and there's no training wheels. There's no classes that you can go take and try to make a county budget work out. I see that we're spending way too much money, and public safety, I'm not sure how. I've been visiting with the sheriff here, and we were talking about jails. So Ben Wolfinger, back in the day, he always wanted to have a new jail, and so he kept pestering the commissioners for it, and I stuck my nose into it. I went over to the sheriff's office and got plans for the jail from Tim Edmondson, and I took them back to the office. Wolfinger, he was upset, and he said, "Mark, you can't have those plans." I said, "What are you talking about, Ben? You're the renter, and we're the landlords." And so we ended up working out a deal out there to where we could finish up what was done on the original jail, that they always wanted to just put up a new one instead of fixing what we had. So we created 120 beds in one wing, and then we left a big giant open space. And you want to know why that is? We left it open. It's because the sheriff has the ability to have a rental space, if you would, for people that are probably out of the area. There would be federal criminals or state criminals or whatever. We didn't want him filling up the jail cells and running it on a rent. It's like, it'd be like a rental jail. And it was crazy. The sheriff can take the money for there, and it's outside of the budget, and they get to spend all of that if they want to. Anyway, you gotta play hardball with these people.
So my thoughts on this is we need long-range planning, and I don't know how, other than there wasn't long-range planning, how did we get to where the same year we're buying Kootenai electric facility from them, we're putting in a new jail, and we are also doing the justice building. How did that happen all basically in 1 year? And why wasn't that planned out and figured out so it didn't hit us all at once? So that would be one of my things that I want to do, is do more long-range planning and try to deal with one urgent thing a year, basically. And I cannot come into this thinking public safety is always the most important, pick it first. It depends. Maybe it was taken care of this year, and maybe it's not next year. Maybe the planning and building department are way short or something. So it's every year you're going to have to look at it. So yeah, public safety is important, but we're taking care of a lot of things right now, I hope. So.
Well, I think I have the advantage because I got to listen to all of these guys. But I believe that managing growth is going to be our #1 issue in Kootenai County, because it's driving the crime, it's driving the excessive budget, it's the inability to plan appropriately. It all comes from not managing our growth appropriately. I've been meeting with builders and developers, realtors, and trying to find that fine line of how we manage growth without taking away homeowners' property rights, and without shooting ourselves in the foot and completely developing everything and letting these out-of-state developers destroy Kootenai County and move on and destroy another town. So I believe that we need to start meeting with the people, listen to everybody's aspect, meet in the middle, and find that fine line where we can slow down the growth and bless everybody in the community instead of just one group or another. Just hold the mic.